what's really funny is I knew like a month ago what the topic was going to be tonight, and I thought, well, I could tell this or I could tell that, and I thought, no, I'm in a serious, shitty situation, and that's going to be resolved, and that's the story that I'm going to tell. That's how resolved that was. Something that people don't tell you when you turn into a grown-up is that it sucks. It really sucks, because there's nobody that you can go to and receive help and assistance with. You're on your own, you know? If a giant glass bottle of olive oil slams from the shelf to the floor, you're the one who has to figure out how you clean up oil and glass. That's your job now. Other people just be like, I don't know what to do, and it's all you. So that's what my life has been like lately. Financially, it's been totally ridiculous. I live by myself. My boyfriend lives really far away and has his own financial life to deal with. And so without having the benefit of like a roommate that you can commiserate with and be like, did you see this bill that we received? Doesn't that suck that we have to pay this? It's just all on me. And it's terrifying. It's really, really frightening sometimes. And I'm also, I run my own business. I'm a clutter consultant. And I will say right now, if you get me, you're really fucking lucky that you got me. I'm not kidding. I'm going to put that out there right now. It's not, I don't show up and put your shit away for you because you're too dumb to figure out how to do that. We work on it together. If you leave the room, I leave the room with you. We work together. And so what's been really interesting is that some people have kind of contacted me recently, and they have this attitude that I'm just going to show up and miraculously fix their shit for them, and that's not how it works. We work it together. I've had some incredible experiences recently, one of which was I received a phone call from somebody that I didn't know who had told me she was a cancer patient. And we talked on the phone, and I was totally terrified to talk to her. It's incredibly difficult to have a conversation with somebody who is telling you, I've been diagnosed with a terminal illness, and I'm also completely overwhelmed in my own house, and I don't know what to do about my own stuff, and I want to feel comfortable in my space. And I was really scared to call her, and I had this whole thing that happened for me where I had to question, what is my worth? Like, what dare I charge for what I do? How can I possibly quantify what's about to happen here? And should I couch this in a different way for a person who is terminally ill, as opposed to just a regular person who's, you know, just overwhelmed? And I didn't couch it in any way. I called her and I was very direct, and we had an amazing meeting, and she is a beautiful human being. I had an incredible experience just hanging out with her for the day, and I got the opportunity to see what was overwhelming to her, and I can't tell you how. I have a tremendous amount of empathy, sometimes almost to the point where it's detrimental for me, because I care really, 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 really hard about other people and the experiences that they have. I want to connect everybody to everything that they ever wanted in this world. I want them to have. I want to deliver your baby. And I think I could. I hope that it doesn't come to that, but seriously, sweetie, please, don't be alone on that. I want to pick the weeds out of your driveway and create a tea that will heal you, and I can do that, and I have done that. I can do amazing things for other people. When it comes to helping myself, I'm terrible at it. I'm really, really bad. And here's why. I realized that I've had financial problems my entire life. I grew up incredibly poor. We grew up on welfare. There was a huge stigma involved in that. We never had money. And what happens when you don't have money is you have to learn how to make do. And you have to learn how to create something out of nothing, how to be whatever you want to be, even if you can't afford to pay for it. And what that does is it forces you to have conversations with other human beings and start the conversation and tell people, you know, this is my dream. And once you've said that out loud, and once you've articulated it, you're 80% there. And that's what I run into with my work, is people will tell me, okay, this is overwhelming to me and I don't know what to do with this. Once they've said out loud, this is the thing that's really pissing me off, that's that's what we need to work on. And you're almost there. Everything else just naturally falls into place. And I've seen this again and again when I deal with other people. I give advice all day long. That's what I do. And I give really good advice. Again, if you get advice from me, you're incredibly lucky to get it. But I don't often apply it to my own self because it seems like my problems are huge, and they really are. I have this much cat food left, and I have 2 cats. A really good friend of mine today just gave me 2 rolls of toilet paper on a whim and said, "Hey, do you need this?" And I almost cried because, yes, in fact, I have an ass and I'd like to wipe it. So it turns out that when it comes to finances, I really had no, skills handed to me. And so as an adult, it feels like I'm learning how to juggle and I'm learning with live grenades, which puts you in a pretty shitty situation because I also have 2 incredibly beautiful children who are very perceptive and totally aware of what happens when I'm really freaked out. And lately I've been really freaked out. I haven't had a lot of clients. I have an incredibly jacked up situation with my ex-husband that I'm not even going to get into, probably because I think there might be some legal stuff down the pipe, and if this hits the internet, I'm kind of fucked. But there's that, and there's always that, and that's like an invisible noose around my neck. And I have a conversation coming up with him that scares the shit out of me. It's the scariest conversation I've ever had in my life. I'm a really strong person, but that whole concept totally freaks my shit out. And so on Friday, I had a series of panic attacks that were so strong and so incredible that I thought I was dying, and I haven't had panic attacks like that in a long time, and I actually had to call my sister and say, "I just want you to stay on the phone with me, and if I stop talking, please call an ambulance, because only then can I justify an $800 charge." I don't know how to take care of myself in advance. I can only take care of myself after it's truly been determined that, yes, in fact, I probably have a blood clot, I'm about to die. I had numbness in my fingers, my lips had gone numb. I was freaking out. I was freaking out really hard, and none of you know that. And a lot of my really good friends are sitting here right now, and none of them knew that because I don't tell that to everybody. I apparently am only comfortable telling it to the world when I'm saying it. Because more importantly, right now my lips are not numb and my fingers are totally rocking. So I'm panicking too because like today officially my rent is due and I have this much of it. I have none of it. I don't have a job, and if I did get a job, 65% of my wages would be garnished immediately right off the top, and I don't know anybody who can live on 35% of nothing. And that scares the shit out of me. And then to top it all off, right after I met with this lovely cancer patient who said to me, "I went to the doctor and I was diagnosed as terminal, and what does that mean for Tuesday?" And I thought, I wanted to fix everything in her world for her. I wanted there to be no cancer, nothing that doesn't exist. She has a child the same age as my daughter. And it broke my heart to imagine being told that you're terminal and have no time frame. And then I realized, we're all terminal. Life is a terminal disease. None of us are going to get through this without dying first. And that's also completely terrifying and also kind of powerful. And I remembered a conversation that I had with my friend Rachel, who I adore, and I have many great conversations with Rachel, where I said, I had spoken with my therapist, and one of the things that he reminded me was to start the conversation, because you can suffer alone and you can have all this incredible pain that you live with, and if you don't tell anybody, no one can help you. Nobody knows what to do. There is no, here's a job, here's a helpful conversation. I have a really sweet friend who just sent me fudge for no reason. And I cried when I opened the envelope that I just got random fudge. And so I had put out this call on Facebook because that's where I have this little box in my house and all my favorite people live inside of it. And I said, I'm having a really hard time. I don't have any money. And after I got done with my appointment, it was 2 weeks ago, my car died and my transmission went out. And I have no money, I have no credit cards.